There's so much stuff we could be doing right now. There's so many errands to run. Clean that kitchen countertop type of shit. Do it later. Just put it off. Don't do that shit today. Do it later type of game. Yeah, that's what I'm on about. And everybody of you guys out there, I'm gonna be teaching you right now today of a time in my life when I really was transcending the physical realm, becoming almost ethereally spirit and reaching into the God creative mind. And I'm gonna teach you about not how to do that. I don't want you to do any of what I talk about over here. Do nothing, don't clean that kitchen countertop. Don't take that shower, stink like the shit, revel in your own filth. Instead, over here, I'm just gonna teach you how I did it or what I've achieved there. First of all, the human body, the human being, is more than the flesh. And the flesh, in the way it's arranged and the capabilities of it, the freedoms that the body has, create also boundaries that the mind can be entrapped in, a kind of a prison mind. It happens through being a healthy human being, you gain a lot of limitations. Being able to move, being able to change your maneuver around your objects around that you have, just taking that towel and just swiping that kitchen countertop type of shit. Just being able to do that, just having that freedom to do that. Exercising that freedom today you are, my young Padawan. But in their side of the mind, when you do that, there are some stuff that you will never be able to do, and that's why God has the creativity. The creative power of God comes about because he doesn't have that body. God's nobody. No, don't have nobody. The God there, up there in the skies, or around in the rocks and in the trees and in the clouds and the sparks of flame. God's not up there. God's in there. Up under, up in there, all at in that. Yeah. So when we getting fat and we just go for the fridge, there's so many items, there's so many choices we could just take over here. We could take that, or we could take this, and this one is healthy for us, or at least we believe it. This one is not, and that kind of shit. This affects the mind too. This is what others have created for us to enjoy and have served for us to be consumed. And it's a whole lot of consumer culture that we're living in. And consuming, it's not all bad. It's not all bad. Look what I'm doing over here with the mics. I could not have created this myself. Most of the stuff I use, I could never have created myself. And it just, the God's plan probably that this is the way it is. All of us, we have a message to communicate, and my message is that there in the mind are powers that are very hard to unlock unless you are prepared to go through a very difficult phase in your life. A spiritual awakening phase, but more than about enlightenment. It's about the mind space right in there. Intellectuality, intellectual knowledge that the professors have in those environments of education, they probably don't have this type of mind. I went through a lot of different types of minds. The vulgar mind, the ascetic mind, the spiritual mind, the ascended spiritual mind, the materialistic, filthy mind. I went through addicted mind. I went through so many types of mind. The mind always change. And what I've realized is that when your mind is very with physical objects, It can lose some of its imaginative powers. It also the fact that the mind changes upon the body state. Hungry, we think about certain items, we think about food. But it's not only what we think about. What we think about is kind of like wall between us and what we can reach there. In the back of the there what we cannot reach because of our addictions, because of our compulsions, because of our needs to clean the kitchen countertop, which you still haven't done. Because of these, our mind gets blocked. We can't see further than this. Sometimes we lose touch that we even have a reality of tomorrow. We have even the past of us. Like Last of Us, video games, this sort of stuff. It takes us away. It takes us away from this, brings us there, and we lose sight of that. But sometimes it is that for an ascended reality, we go there only to gain wisdom, what to do in this. We not go there for its own sake, because in its own nature might not even exist like this one, if this one even exists like that one. And it goes and goes and goes on. So finding yourself there and losing yourself here, while at the meanwhile being there at the same time of being that. You are not none of this that you seek to be at. Just understanding this and still not going to that shower, reveling and just spinning in your own field, just stinking like the shit at this point. Be enjoying that experience of the stinking shit. We get children, all this kind of stuff, homes, all this. We have to keep that up. Children have to be fed, they have to be taken to the school, they have to be educated, this sort of stuff. We create all kinds of mind programs that are being conducted out through our body. And sometimes our body gets very ill and hurt in the process of us creating that program for a lot of different reasons. Some might be survival reasons, some might be just vanity reasons, some might be reasons that you have been taught, some might be reasons that you came up with yourself. And we might get hurt for this. We might get hurt serious bad time if we're too insistent that this has to be this way. No other way is possible than this way. We might get very, very bummed and very burned in our life because of this. So when we cleaning that kitchen countertop, still at last, taking 8 minutes to clean that shit, we might notice still some couple of spots over here and there. And it's a whole type of a nightmare. A whole type of a nightmare. Because nowadays people fret over this stuff so much that they lose their sleep, they lose their dreams, they don't no longer be able to sleep at nights without addictive substances. All kinds of tranquilizer drugs are being taken so that we can stay calm in a society and in a world that is just not fit for that calmness. It's not like the birds are singing there. Most of planet Earth has been just smugged up by all kinds of creations of the mankind's polluting fumes. And there in midst we found ourselves. Like, what is this world? We were born in a world, none of us created this. It was born and a world not of our own making. It's a world not of our own hands creation. It's a world of not our own creation and making. Was it the creation of God in the first place and now overseen, overwatched by Satan himself? Nobody knows. But in my own opinion, we have not been able to very well found and find a truth in a world of all this. Because, of course, everything we create cannot be more than what we are inside of that mind. we can never fully realize our visions are utopic, are utopistic sights of what all it could be like. And we need engineers and this type of stuff. We coach them to that, teach them the skills, a way around the physics and chemistry and electrodynamics, whatever it is. Psycho-cybernetics. Writing books about how to live a proper life in a world of no tomorrow. A world of war and a world of Warcraft. Creating a whole another way and a whole another type of existence where the body is most of all just pressing buttons all day, the body. And it leaves the mind through a character there, kind of like being a parent of a character, growing that character, strength and all. Imagining this, just how crazy is that? And a lot of you guys are just spending so much time in that virtual space with your virtual race. It might be the druid or the paladin, whatever it is. We're unplugging you from that, unplugging you from there. And all of a sudden, feelings of loneliness and feelings of inadequacy and feelings and realization, so I'm getting fat. Well, how did I get this fat? Why? What happened there? Why are all the normal kids all of a sudden they having girlfriends and they getting their first jobs and they just working their ass off and they getting money, and meanwhile I'm here being neat, not employed, educated or into drugs and just living my life as it never existed there. Well, it never existed there. And all these colorful worlds, they just titillate and staticate and dictate us to them colorful sprites and those polygons. We shine on them surfaces, like the kitchen countertop that was never cleaned because we had to do that raid. We just had to be there on time, just downing that bus. We get so into this, the space inside the screens and the current day world, not taking any credit for it, but it has made it possible to live this way. And some people just embrace that. I was once at the grocery store here. It's a small village and town. And I saw this couple of nerds there, just that, and just embracing that culture, buying all the Coke, buying all the pizza, just buying that unhealthy shit. And you could see that these guys, they spend at least every one of their hours at the computer screen. They just at the computer all the time. They're just into those games and they embrace that shit. They just don't have no shame about it. Being that anime nerd, no shame about it. And just a couple of days ago, I watched a small sliver of a video by a man named online YouTube Thunder Wizard. And he said that there are gonna be 3 realms, and one of them is going to be the 2D realm. And it was the kind of hinting at that anime is hell. Anime is hell type of a podcast over here. Click thumbs up for that. Anime hell. It was a mistake all the way. I'm not saying that this was a mistake all the way, but a lot of kitchen countertops, they just were left unclean at that. A lot of just pottery. I mean, dishes were left unwashed because of this. And all of this started from clay and huts and hunting and throwing the spear. Now we're doing that in the virtual world. Horizon Zero Dawn type of games. You know, play this attractive female character, your women of the dreams, that is so kind of stone-faced that it resembles more like you than anybody else in the world. And mine's, they're just not there when you seek in front of people. They're just not there anymore. And me here, visionary minding that, I'm creating a whole Tatapashi character out of myself. Online I'm playing that character. It's very hard to play that character in the real life, but I've done it. But people just are themselves. You have done all this, still you haven't yet learned to be a new ways in the worlds. Because of many stuff, education, you escape the reality instead of embracing the escaped reality into the next one. This is the vision of the future here, served to you on the silver platter. Still you don't fucking take that cake. Just taking it in there. Just taking that cake and swiping all that ice cream and all that whipped cream on the platter type of shit. And just getting that scraped off the there. Like you're wiping that kitchen countertop. You're still not doing that shit. You're still not going to that shower. I mean, just rebelling, just enjoying, and just spinning platters in your own field. Type of autism spectrum disordering that. I mean, we are disordering that spectrum like it has never even existed beyond the disorder realm. We are in so much of a disorder in this world that even the collective unconscious mind has been sending us messages that blip blop bang, we have been not making us enough of millionaires. And all the wrong ones have gotten all the power. Yeah. But still here, I'm making this podcast for you and telling you about it. All the wrong ones got all the power and the money. That's what everybody thinks that don't have the power and the money. Of course, they might be wrong in this. You might be wrong, my wheezy boy. And a lot of you guys, you saw the Harry Potter movie. The Harry Potter. And he was sputtering there. I mean, he was not making any pots. And a lot of writers in this world that write about this power-hungry horse of Babylon, they don't realize that a lot of them are just pottery writers. There are writers that write, and then there are pottery writers that write like it's doing pottery. You know, doing pots, pottery. Pottery is kind of like horse riding nowadays. Horse and horses are not ridden because it's a necessity like it was in the past. They do it because of sport, because it's fun for them, or because of the same reasons that people do pottery riding. They just do it for the heck of it, as a hobby. Don't be a hobbyist. Take it seriously. Take it to the next level type of shit. Just do it like it's supposed to be done. Do it like you're the adept at it. The adept at it. Not just in depth. Powerlessness type of shit. Amen. Amen. God bless. God bless on that. Jesus Christ. Hail Mary, bury Jesus Christ. Bury Jesus Christ. Blackberry Jesus Christ. Type of shit. You know, blackberries, they went away. They just went away. Why? Because the company didn't understand their competition. Even if you understand your competition and you're trying to just challenge that competition. All this sporting mentality. Why? Why all this? We have to transcend that. We can't be in competition with each others. We have to transcend that kind of stump thinking stuff. Stump thinking deads. You know, it's just brain deadness to be just always in the competition with each other. We don't have to be working together either. We have to be transcending all of that. It's just a testimony of how shittily we are doing over here that we have to work together or that we have to compete. I mean, how shitty are we really doing over here? How shitty that it has to be this numbers game. It's just a testimony of how bad the world has gotten. While meanwhile, being such a prosperous state for some of them individuals, They didn't get there by competition. They are not there because they are the best or they are the most shining bright of the stars in the sky. They got there because of various other reasons. Inheritance, birth, and also because of place, time, luck, and contacts. All that successful motivation, grit, all that. Not because they're the best, talented, whatever it is. Invent the reason why your friend is better in this than you. And then realize that it doesn't matter shit. You're just unpracticed, uneducated, unorthodox, that kind of shit. Be this way, be that. Whatever. And the kitchen countertop is still not fucking clean. Type of your minding there. Don't you realize? Some home wives, they're just above this kind of thinking stuff. They not philosophizing about life. It's the kitchen countertop and the food. They have to be prepared. The man goes to work and he works his ass off, brings the food and the mommy puts it on the table for the kids. This type of stuff. We do our own parts very well. And don't fiddle-faddle in the other people's business type of mind. Some kitchen wives, they're just transcending many of these levels, but at the same time unable to reach other levels. So embrace when you see in others their talent and skill in whatever they do. We don't have to all be the same. We don't have to all do it the same way. Just embrace that. Embrace what they're good at, and they might become even better at it. Or it might go all the other ways around. Who knows? Maybe how you are related to others doesn't matter at all. Maybe it's just a facade. It's gonna play out this way either way. Play out each way, systematic way. So cut into that. Just embrace that. Kids that into that countertop. I mean, kidding it in there. Just put your kid on the countertop and attach a couple of wipers on his just sneakers or something and make the kid clean the countertop. Type of revolutionary thinking. Put your kids to the work. I mean, get a lot of those kids and just make them do all the homework. They're not gonna do the homework nowadays. They're playing that WoW. They're playing that World of Warcraft. They have a better life there. Imagine this. At age of 10 years old, your kid already realized that there's a better life in the virtual space than this reality. How sad is that? How sad is that? I mean, how are we going to grow out of these kids? I mean, I've met a lot of young people in my career of being a YouTuber, and I realized that at some points in some stuff, there's gonna be a hive mind that has absolutely no clue of a lot of stuff. Absolutely no clue of a lot of stuff. And it's all created upon the work of the previous generation. And they are not even enjoying that. They are not finding their place in that. Some of them will. If they follow my channel, it's not in any way impossible that all my young viewers, they will find their way. But for a lot of them, they will be completely fucking lost. They will be completely fucking lost. They won't hear the right messages. Because all their messages are coming from their WhatsApps, from their friends that are also fucking clueless. I mean, shit. And still the kitchen countertop has not been cleaned. I mean, you can't make this generation into those kinds of housewives. You can't make this generation into those kinds of working mentality men. You know, it's not gonna happen. The world's gonna change. And it's gonna change in a way that we might have never imagined. Bring in AI, artificially intelligent that. You know, just making you realize what you need to do instead of giving commands what you need to do. Don't command me. Give me the insight. Make me realize what I need to do instead of what I should be doing by commanding me. We're going to that next level. This is not bird era anymore. The birds are not even chirping anymore. They unconsciously giving us commands. Not anymore. We're transcending army mentality. We're not flying like the bullets are. No more. This is going to be the era of ultimate peace and harmony type of shit. Some guru somewhere in the rainforest tells his followers, making a cult out of it. They don't have the internet, or sometimes they upload a video of the cult teacher telling about this stuff, but otherwise they just live secluded there and are meditating on reaching into the higher states of consciousness. Meanwhile, being very isolated and alone there, they have sex and they might not be able to have an abortion of those kids, and all of a sudden they start to build skyscrapers even there in the rainforest. Type of crap. Then some bright man comes up with the idea that we're gonna create cults that are only females and only males, and they die of extinction. This sort of stuff. We are dealing with a time that is very hard and also very expanded ways of possibilities to live in. So, Hail Mary be Jesus Christ, we don't no longer be needing any Jesus Christ over here. I mean, shit. And praying, a lot of people are. A lot of people don't. A lot of people do, and a lot of people are just thinking that, grant me this. And I'm over here just prayfulness. I have prayed a lot, and I have gotten a lot, but I'm still unsatisfied. I'm doing like shit. So if you want to help me realize that there's probably not a way that you can. There's probably not the way that they can help you. But if you clean that kitchen countertop, at least maybe your wife will not scream at you that you didn't do it, when she should actually have been doing it instead of posting pictures of her ass on the Instagram and type of shit. I mean, this is what we're dealing with, and it's serious, what it's getting at. We're dealing with serious bullshit over here. Seriousness upon that bullshit. We build it up like a cake. I mean, you go to the wedding and you get the prize of your wife, and all of a sudden she eats all the cake and gets fucking fat, and you're just stuck with that. You have to get all these papers, you can't divorce that wife. You know, it's very serious that you agree upon the diet that you have in your fridge type of shit. Both are getting fat. You both are getting fat, and you just get not caring aboutness, you know. Sex is the same even if you're fat type of mentality. Whatever. Just not living for that pleasure mentality instead. Not taking all that Ritalin, vitamins. What is that called? Adderall. And putting the kids on the Adderall. I mean, on top of them being just educated, addicted and all that, you know. You think about all the EDs that they have. Erectile dysfunction at the age of 15, young boys. They just are addicted to Adderall. They play video games and drink energy drinks, and they're just, you know, they're so freaking jolted up, you know. They're so freaking jolted up and stimulated. And so at the same time, so stupid. I mean, they don't have any deepness of knowledge. It's of course very understandable because they're young. But it's not only because they're young, they also be that way because of the ways that society plays upon that. They're exploiting these kids, don't you understand? All these video games and all that, on drugs and Adderall and, you know, depression and all that, you know, they put these kids into impossible situations where they cannot just make those decisions themselves. You know, 13, 15-year-old kids, they don't do these decisions alone and by themselves with their own heads. It's through their friends, which are also freaking shitty. They do them decisions because of the algorithms on YouTube, this type of stuff. You know, teachers try to tell them that you should be eating nuts and all this kind of crap. You know, they're not going to be eating nuts. They're not going to be eating that salad. They're not going to be living that healthy life. They want energy drinks, they want sugar, they want candy, they want all the Doritos, they want video games, they want just to forget about education and this sort of crap. What if you give them the just luxury of that? What if you create the whole plan? Just send them there. Just send all the young people out of society into some just foreign land and fly them there. And just put them in a plant where they can just play video games and eat Doritos and drink energy drinks, and it's just an endless flow of that. You know, they don't have to pay for it and they're just there. Why don't you create a society like that and see how well it does? Well, it doesn't do very well, of course, but the video game industry is getting a lot of profit from that. You know, it's not about how much that PlayStation cost. It doesn't cost even that much. It's a cheap life to live the video gamer's life. It's a cheap life to live that way. It's not expensive, and that's why so many people do it. It's not like playing golf with Rockefellers. You know, when you're playing your Call of Duty with those 14-year-olds, it's not like you're playing golf with Rockefellers. At this point, I'm starting to feel that I have to transcend my previous ways. I have to become that golf player with the Rockefellers type of an individual. I have to become world class. I'm not going to settle with myself no more with what I have and with what I do. I'm not going to settle with any type of wage that some boss gives. I'm gonna do something that is above everything that has been ever done in my village, has been ever done in my town, and has been ever done in this country. Maybe I will never reach what has been done in America. God bless that America. Jesus Christ on America type of shit. AI on America. You know, that's what they're gonna say amen to in the future times. In the Christian churches, prosperity preaching upon that. Prosperity preaching on that. In America, they're gonna say, God bless AI. Amen, AI. They're not gonna say, God bless Jesus Christ. They're not gonna say, God bless Jesus Christ. They're gonna say, God bless AI. AI on that type of shit. You know?